It's only Matty Evanson that won't be involved. Obviously still got an injury issue with his back, so that's dragging on somewhat. Mark Hughes obviously is out. Charlie had the operation early in the week. He's okay. He'll be available wearing his Phantom of the Opera mask, so he'll be okay. Ozzy Saeed will probably travel, but it's possibly a little bit soon. He's trained today. We'll see how he is tomorrow, but we won't take any risks if we don't think he's ready. Well, we hope so. I've always felt that's what Stephen needs in his football life, and he's going to get that here. He's got people around him that understand him as a player and as an individual, and he's got good support structure around him, which I think enables him to perform to the best of his ability. And there's no doubting that he's an outstanding player. From my point of view, I feel and would expect Stephen to really progress his career now in terms of his age and his experience and what he's been through. He's 27 years of age, and for us to get a player of his quality in on a free transfer is a real feather in our cap, because he's a talented boy, and we feel he's going into his best years now. Well, our stance as a club is well documented, and obviously I think Kenwyn has other routes that he can pursue in regard to this matter if he decides to do that. But our stance as a club is very strong on this, and we felt it wasn't acceptable, and that's why the fine was imposed. So whether or not it gets taken further by Kenwyn, we'll have to wait and see. Well, I think he's come out with a few statements in the press, but we're not certain whether or not that's the end of the situation. Our interest in him is there, and we'll progress it and remain in the frame for his signature up to the point where we think it's time to walk away. We don't think we're quite at that point, but certainly we're getting quite close. We need an answer at some point. Well, it's been a difficult season from the outside looking in. Obviously there seems to have been a little bit of turmoil within the club and surrounding the club, and relationships within the club between key members of the staff and the ownership. So that's something that's key in terms of the stability of the club. Those relationships have to be strong, and if they're not, then there's the potential for things to go awry. And that's from the outside looking in. Maybe that's my take on it. But unless you're actually going through it and you're a member of that group, then it's difficult to say what actually has gone on and what's impacted on the football on the pitch in the greatest degree. They've got a good squad. They spend a lot of money on the squad as well, and they'll be buoyed obviously from their last performance and last results. So it's not an easy fixture for us in any way, shape or form. We're going there ourselves in good form, but they'll obviously be encouraged by their performance last time out. So they're still very much in a relegation fight, and they'll be doing everything about it to try and get out of the situation they find themselves in. So that obviously impacts on us as an opposition if we allow them to really gain a foothold in the game and have it an opportunity to try and take the game away from us. Well, I don't know Ollie personally at any kind of level really. I've obviously come into contact with him within football, but in the few one-to-ones I've had with him over the years, and there haven't been many, he's always struck me as somebody who has a real interest in the game and the coaching side of it. And I've spoken to people at Manchester United in the past. They've always reiterated the fact that he was always interested, he was always likely to be a coach or a manager, and that's been borne out. He's had great success in Norway. Always difficult to come from any league in Europe to to the Premier League, which is the hardest league in world football, and he's come into the Barclays Premier League and found that it's relentless. It's week on, week in, week out. It's a level that's only the guys that really have experienced it at this level can understand. So he'll be enjoying the experience, but obviously not the experience of being in the situation. But for him as a coach moving forward, it's invaluable for him.